Aloy, it appears that we have some interesting new guests. I'm glad to see you're okay, though. I heard you gave the Tenakth something to talk about. I was half expecting you to burst in through the ceiling riding a sunwing.
Sorry to disappoint.
Nice.
Thoughts on our new Zenith acquaintance?
I'd say she smells like death, but even death smells of something. She's more like a cold piece of metal, bent on repelling all semblance of life.
She's definitely different. Ready to head over to the Zenith base?
Whatever comes, we will endure.
Have you talked to any of our new friends?
Erend and I tried speaking to Sylens, but apparently our tribal prattle is unnecessary.
Charming, isn't he?
Nice. Gohans, yeah, check out the end of the stream last night. Hey,
How's
Nocturne, good
Erend
morning.
doing?
For a moment there, he thought he'd lost both you and Varl. But he never truly succumbed to despair. Guess that Oseram's stubbornness comes in handy sometimes.
I have to go. I trust you to keep things civil around here.
Hey, Sonora.
I'll make
Yeah,
sure
that's good.
Erend doesn't punch Sylens in the face, if that's what you mean.
Thanks.
We don't have... I was about to say, we don't have to talk to Gaia? Yeah, Gaia's gone. Whoops.
There you are.
Hi?
Well done, Aloy. Despite my reservations, you managed to secure Sylens and his weapon. You're truly a shining example of Liz's fortitude.
I've been thinking about what you said at your house. How you were friends with Elizabeth. It was more than that, wasn't it?
Perceptive as ever. You're right, we were together for a time.
Okay, so... what happened?
I was an orphan. I had always been alone. By my 30s, I was starting to wonder if that was simply my fate in life. And then I met Liz. We kept running into each other at conferences. We'd have coffee. At some point, it became drinks. I thought it was just shop talk, an exchange of ideas, but then I was surprised at how much I looked forward to seeing her. Soon we were flying halfway across the world every other week just to meet up. For the first time, I didn't feel lonely. I could imagine a future where I wasn't. I think Liz felt the same way at first. She had lost her mother a few years back. I filled a void for her. I know I did. But as time passed, it seemed as though she wanted less when I wanted more. And so we ended things.
So helping me. Restoring Elizabeth's dream. It's what,
A second chance, yes.
Oh,
I made a mistake leaving Earth while Liz stayed behind. I should have done more. So when I saw you, a woman who has carved her own remarkable path, beyond even what made Liz a phenomenon, I knew I had to help you. To do right by her.
You said before that you're not like the other Zeniths. That you never were. But you went along with all of their plans.
Out of necessity. I'm not proud of it. But complicity became a means of survival, both when Earth was consumed and when the colony on Sirius was destroyed. I did what I had to. But I resolved to remain one step ahead of the others, to try to undo what damage I could. Hence the data channel with Beta. The secret passage into their base and the little trick I pulled to save you.
or an elaborate plan. You know,
Why did you make the data channel look
little
like your
sus
house?
chat, a little bit. Little
I
suspect.
built that
Back on the
house
sus
as a
train.
shelter
Yeah.
to weather any storm. A safe place, not just for me, but for the art stored in its depths, cultural artifacts of incalculable value. Truly, some of the greatest
At apparently
achievements of
low
human
resolution.
civilization.
Yeah.
And you wanted Beta to see them?
Yes. Her upbringing was so cold and technical. I thought if she could experience Vermeer and Rembrandt, it would bring something else into her life. A heritage every bit as valuable as the scientific and technical data being drummed into her. I'm sorry I had to cut off contact, but I'll never regret sharing this house with her. She needed its shelter even more than I did.
It is a little bit weird. Yeah.
Why do you think Elizabeth pulled away?
I've wondered that for 1,000 years. She was brilliant, visionary. She cared so deeply for the world, for the betterment of humanity. But it also felt like she kept everyone at arm's length, including me. She never wanted to share her burdens. I think, in the end, she had a core that she never let anyone be part of. Sometimes I wonder if anyone really knew her.
I found a recording of you and Elizabeth back in the proving lab after Zenith's attempt to steal Gaia.
Yes. A most unpleasant conversation.
She said something after the call. I think she regretted how things ended between you.
Did she? All this time, thank you for telling me. I've always hated that those were the last words we ever said to each other. And that her last impression of me was as a functionary of Zenith, not...
Doxanel says, this reminds me somehow of Trinity from The Matrix. The voice actress is Trinity from The Matrix.
who I truly am.
So, there's that. Yeah.
When it's time to break into the Zenith base, what can we expect?
Yeah, it's Carrie Ann Moss.
I'll go over the full layout once you've assembled your friends. Suffice it to say, we will need to push as fast as possible to Beta and Gaia's location, dealing with heavy resistance along the way. There are also printing facilities where the others have been amassing the natural resources they've stripped from the region.
What for?
First for use in the base's infrastructure, and then to fabricate more Spectre drones, a small army of them. In addition, they've also been ferrying materials to and from our ship in orbit. After hundreds of years luxuriating in our digital comforts, the ship was barely space-worthy when we made our escape.
Interesting.
Disaster can strike at any moment. We've learned our lesson.
Have you figured out how Silence's weapon works?
No, and he's been very careful not to allow me near it. I'll admit it bothers me, but regardless of how it functions, I am confident it will deactivate the other shields en masse.
How many of them are in the base?
10, including Eric and Gerard. Only a handful of us made it to our ship when our colony collapsed.
I wonder how many there were. Oh.
So, Eric. Was he always a bloodthirsty psychopath?
I believe he got worse over time. On Earth, he was the founder of a profitable private military company.
Thank you, Midleno.
A band of cutthroats, in other words. Even as governments abandoned human combatants in favor of automated warfare. He found success with clientele that required a more personal touch. There were also rumors that he personally hunted and killed his targets. On occasion, all for the thrill of it. But on Sirius, he
Sounds
retreated
fun.
to virtual reality simulations. In them, he could go on rampages as violent as he pleased, though I suspect with diminishing satisfaction.
All of his tribe believes he was one of the greatest people from the old world.
Then they would be quite disappointed to meet him, though I'm sure he'd bask in the adoration.
What can you tell me about Gerard?
He was the head of the world's largest financial conglomerate, and as such had dealings with almost every major corporation. It made him one of the wealthiest people on Earth, and certainly the wealthiest among Zenith.
What does one person do with that much money?
Keep it.
Buy more
Yeah.
power, more influence. Gerard's always believed himself to be a refined patrician, able to maintain control with a polished smile. But beneath that exterior is a cold and calculating operator. It was his decision to restrict Beta's upbringing to her digital educators, the avatars of the Apollo database, while we were painted as her benefactors.
Well, we'll deal with him soon enough. And the
Is
others.
her neck okay? No, it's broken.
I would very much like to see his face when he realizes we've beaten him.
When I was in the ruins of Vegas, I found data on a man named Stanley Chen.
Greek
I think he
cryptic.
was a Zenith.
Stanley, ever the optimist. He was one of the good ones. When we established our colony, he built an exact replica of Las Vegas in virtual reality.
You said was.
Lights, shows, gambling, every detail perfectly recreated. And while others cloistered themselves in their own fantasies, he flung his doors wide to everyone.
The way you're talking about him, I'm guessing he didn't make it back to Earth.
No, he perished when our colony was destroyed. He would have been thrilled to discover that part of his beloved city survived.
It's too bad.
When Beta escaped and hid in an ancient research facility, I saw another one of the Zeniths. Verbena. Who was she?
A dull star amidst a sea of brighter constellations.
Ouch.
Unlike most of Far Zenith's members who amassed their wealth through shrewd business deals and technological achievements, Verbena inherited her billions.
Ah.
Her father had achieved great success in the luxury holotourism industry. At age 24, she became the world's most eligible bachelorette, branding herself a life designer. Someone who leverages their fame to influence the choice of others.
What, like a cult?
In a way, yes.
Well, she must have done something right to have survived this long.
She was her own brand of ruthless. That much is true. But even rats can cling to a vessel for escape.
Yes, like me. Exactly. I'm a life designer. That's how I brand myself as well, yeah.
Okay, so I've had run-ins with a handful of Zeniths. What about the rest?
An array of the wealthiest people on Earth. Titans of their industries.
And let me guess. All selfish and ruthless to the core?
Most, but not all.
Are you
There
an
were a few
eligible
with whom I got
bachelorette?
along.
Oh, the eligible list.
Annika Murjani, for instance, was always delightful. She founded the Holonet's most successful dance channel and was herself mesmerizing to watch. And I had fascinating discussions with Song Jiao about her work in cellular biology. Our immortality treatments are due in part to her achievements. But then there were others like Devin Miller, the CEO of a fast food printing corporation.
Oh.
His only real preoccupations were perfecting his golf swing and taking self-hollows. When I think about all of us, we really should have accomplished more. We had eternity.
Okay. I'll let you know when it's time.
I'll be here until then. And thank you, Aloy, for giving me this chance. My past has always been a struggle. More than once I've lost everything. But when I look to the future, I see Liz's dream fulfilled. A universe of new possibilities.
Maybe we can make it happen.
We will. I won't let anything get in the way.
Is the next
I
mission
promise
called
you
Eat
that.
the Rich? Oh, man. Kinda good.
Did you see Kotallo's new arm? I never thought I'd see metal bound to flesh.
Can't ignore the rebel holdouts Regalla left behind.
Ooh.
I see you've got your new arm ready to go.
Yes. It still feels strange. I've gotten used to the absence, but no matter. I'm sure I will need it before the attack on the Zenith base is through.
Haven't seen you since the battle at the Grove. How are you holding up?
I saw you fly on the wings of the Ten, and paralyze Regalla's army with lightning. I would say that I am inspired.
Thank you, I guess.
It is I who should be thanking you.
What a boss, dude.
Did you meet Tilda?
There is something about...
Kotallo is Sekiro VA. Is he? Is that why it sounds familiar? He's the English Sekiro. Oh, how cool. Okay, I knew his voice sounded familiar.
about her that doesn't seem natural. I wouldn't be surprised if my sword
I
went
love
through
it. Fits
her
perfectly.
and she didn't bleed at all.
He's such a great character.
Honestly, with her, nothing would surprise me. Your people keep mentioning the wings of the Ten. What exactly does it mean?
The visions tell us that the Ten flew on great metal machines with wings and leapt into battle from the sky. For us, to imitate this feat is the ultimate expression of martial prowess. It is why the challengers leap into the arena during... And now,
That's new.
like the deeds of the Ten themselves, it will never be forgotten.
Interesting.
So, tell me, how did it feel?
I won't lie. Pretty good.
I can only imagine.
What a boss.
Things will get ugly once the Zeniths realize we're in
Have a
their
good one,
base.
Astral Kai. Thanks for lurking.
You'll need every trick you've ever learned.
I would have it no other way. Many soldiers died in the old world to make sure we stood here today. We will endure on their behalf. Though, I am curious how you intend to defeat the Zenith's defenses without an army of our own.
Leave that to me. Just make sure you're ready to fight.
As you say. You have more than earned my trust.
It's so cool to think about how we started with this character and where we are now. That was it, man. What a ride. What a
Look,
ride.
I know you're probably not happy about keeping Regalla around, but I want her on our
took a lot of
side
time.
when we fight the Zeniths.
It is more than she deserves. Even so, I will not question your judgment.
Thank you, Kotallo.
Cool.
I have to go. But I'll be briefing everyone on the plan soon.
Understood.
Okay, we have, I think, one more character to talk to, and then we should probably do the side missions. I'm thinking we should probably knock out the companion side missions before we do the next mission. They should be pretty quick.
You flew? Kotallo told me. And took out Regalla's machines? You know what? I don't even know why I'm surprised. I saw we have visitors and a new weapon. Does this mean we're ready to take the fight to the Zeniths?
Almost.
Got a thing on your face, Aloy.
I suppose you saw that Tilda is here. Our very own Zenith.
I almost went up to her to ask her, well, every question I've ever had about the legacy. Every diviner I know would kill to get 5 minutes with one of the old ones. But now that she's here, all I feel is a vague unease. I don't know if I'm scared of finding out more uncomfortable truths, or just scared of her. Probably both.
That's honest and fair.
What was Leviathan again?
A flood control system back in the Great Delta. In Sasaki,
That was me.
another of our ancestors. If we can acquire the data on it, we might be able to fix the system back home. Then my sister, my parents, other families won't have to live in fear of their homes washing away when the long rains come.
Error.
Right. And to find it, we need to head back to San Francisco.
Cutting down stream. 1 second. Great. Okay. What's that, guys? Okay.
So, all of the tribes here are new to you?
Yes, I've been studying up on them. The most fascinating one thus far has been the Tenakth, an entire culture based on the holograms of an ancient museum. There's much they've misinterpreted, not unlike the Quen. But still, there's a nobility to what they've become. They're honorable and fearless.
And deadly. You sure you're okay going on this mission? I know things must be happening pretty fast for you.
I've already braved oceans and madmen who thought they were ancestors reborn. Why not a few immortals with lethal drones at their command, too?
Guess the more the merrier. Are you okay?
I was wondering, is it really safe having someone like Regalla here? She seems angry.
Where is Regalla?
The kind of angry that leads to murdering people in their sleep.
Don't worry. We're going to point that anger in the right direction. The Zeniths.
If you say so.
I don't think I saw her.
I hope our new guests have been behaving.
This Silence.
Oh, she's
He's
in the
the
basement.
one who built the weapon
Okay.
that can take down Zenith shields?
He is. Though I wouldn't expect him to answer any questions about it. He refuses to dole out his secrets to us lesser mortals.
Oh.
You know that special part of us that makes us warm, kind, welcoming?
Our spirit?
Yeah. He was born without that.
Okay.
How are you holding up?
Varl's loss is heavy on everyone's mind. I didn't know him well, but I can see how much he meant to the others. Zoe and Erend seem to have taken to it the hardest, but I don't quite know what to say to them.
They need time to sort through it.
And what about you? Will time heal your wounds?
I don't know. I try not to think about it. We won't let the Zeniths get away with what they've done.
Everyone's ready to take the fight to the enemy.
And you?
Nervous? But I'm ready too.
Don't worry. We'll get through this together.
She's so honest. I love it. Do I have that
I
thing?
need to
A
wrap
soul?
up a
No,
few
I don't.
things, but stay sharp.
I'll be
Lost
ready
it a
when
long
you
time
call.
ago.
And I
Gwendolyn,
haven't forgotten
good
about the
save.
data on Leviathan. I'll let you know when I make it back to landfall.
Thank you, Aloy.
Ooh. Oh, hell yeah. Is that a Stormbird Storm Cannon? Yeah, it is. Then we can upgrade our bow now. Where do we bow now? I think the workbench is over here somewhere.
Hey, Erend.
Yeah.
I was thinking we could spar for a bit. When you have the time.
Oh, sure. Yeah, of course.
Did you need some?
Oh, hi, Silence. There it is. Awesome. Advanced precision arrows. Hell yeah. It's gonna be kind of big. It's gonna be kind of big. It's gonna be kind of big. 25% draw speed. That's gonna speed everything up. Cool.